Automation nation, automation nation, automation nation, around the nation. Automation nation, automation nation, automation nation, around the nation, around the nation, around the nation. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Automation Nation podcast. We are back for another wonderful conversation. Liz Capants is with me here today. Liz, thank you for being in the hot seat, we're going to call it, because you have
the hot seat.
Yeah. This is a hot topic. It's a hot topic we're talking about here.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited to be here, Rob. Great to be here. Thanks.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. I've known you on LinkedIn for a while now, and I love the work you do. And I love a word that you use. Use a word a lot called empathy, and I don't hear that used a lot. I don't hear the word empathy used a lot, but I do like when I hear it, because empathy is actually love in action, folks. That's what it is. It's love in action. And if you can show empathy, oh my goodness, you will see how things develop around you. I'm going to read a little bit of Liz's bio here from LinkedIn. So CEO, People's First Global Retained Executive Search. She's a chief headhunter. Okay. And I'm going to read a little bit of this here. It says, I've been incredibly fortunate to have had the privilege and honor of working with organizations in talent acquisition, as well as executives at various stages of their career. Empathy is at the core of everything we do. Yes. I don't necessarily have all the answers, but work alongside you to help find the answers. My strategy incorporates search methodologies with continuous input from you, a highly responsive approach to managing deliverables, as well as reasons for making recommendations throughout the process. Finding you what you need and using empathy and a high skill set to do it. Liz, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rob. Excited to be here for this discussion.
Well, before we kick this thing off, Liz, we ask all of our guests this question. We're powered by Simply Automate. So we ask all of our guests this question. If you could simply automate one thing in your personal life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, that is a broad question. What would I automate? So many things that come to mind in my personal life. You're saying not business, right?
Mm-hmm,
personal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see. Put me on the spot here. Give me some examples. What would be
the dishes, laundry, taking the kids to school? Okay. I mean, I got a top 5 over here.
All right, good. Okay, I was going to say making dinner, just organizing dinner and getting like food organized, and never enough time to do that. If that was automated, that would be amazing.
Yes.
With that.
And we know that's around the corner, by the way, because Alexa's getting smarter and smarter by the day. Okay, right now you can order right from your house and have it delivered to you by Instacart or one of those guys. But soon your Alexa is going to be able to go do all the stuff for you. You tell her what to do, it goes to get in your autonomous car, it goes and does it, and it comes back. So it's around the corner, Liz. It's around the corner.
I'm ready for it, Rob. I am ready and waiting, so I'm all good. Looking forward to that.
Good. All right, so let's talk about, Liz, what inspired you to enter the talent acquisition field? Let's talk about Liz and what brought you here, and you could share some about you too, and then what brought you to this point, Liz?
Yeah, fantastic. So I stepped into talent acquisition recruiting, and for me, there was like no turning back. It was something I was meant to do, to work with individuals as they're finding that next role, the next career, as well as organizations. I think at the core of everything, I am a connector, and it was just when I jumped into talent acquisition, there was no turning back. So something that is very natural to my skill set, knowing a lot of people, and leveraging those connections. So
Leveraging those
it's
connections, leveraging those networks. And how has that been? Is it what's the process of that? How's that been going?
it's been a trajectory over many years, and now it's great when you build a strong, great network. It's really what fuels my business, and I think as entrepreneurs and business owners, when we can align ourselves with the right people, it's powerful what we can create and work towards.
Mm,
So
mm, that's good. That's good.
it's yeah.
What's your top tip for improving the candidate experience? Like what would be your top tip for this?
Yeah, from the employer's perspective, I think that just each step of the process in recruitment, how that person is treated, the follow up, the communication, some very basic fundamentals in having that customer service, if you will, in the process, right? Follow up, feedback, the timeline. Oftentimes that isn't there, and candidates are left guessing and in the dark. And I think that that could be improved by just communicating all of these things, right? So
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I think
Is that
that
now is that a struggle? Do you find that easily done, or is that something that's smooth, or what's been the process with that?
yeah, so it depends on the organization. Some have a very streamlined process. Others, it could be like the Wild West, Rob, and have no idea what they're doing. So our goal is to simplify and make that process more efficient. And again, just working with some very basic communication, over communicate the interview process, and just making sure it's it's efficient, so that the end goal is we have someone in that seat. So.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Now, and how has automation helped? Because I know, listen, we're in the age of technology. We did things at a snail's pace before, and now we're moving at call it a
Yeah,
super snail with a cape on.
yeah, yeah,
We're at light speed now. Like let's talk about automation. How that's kind of changed the game a little bit.
yeah. It's definitely made it more efficient and accelerated the process in so many ways. I think that my 2 cents is that keeping the people to people piece as much as we can through hiring. At the end of the day, we are hiring people. So automation certainly has helped to accelerate scheduling issues, filtering out keywords, in resumes, and doing some of those basic processes. But at the end of the day, I think my goal is to always keep the people interaction as much as we can,
Mm-hmm.
right? While
Mm-hmm.
using the automation for efficiencies and to help speed things up.
Yeah, yeah. You want the automation to take care of that, of the manual, of the repetitive, whatever that is. But then you want want humans to be with humans, because humans want a human experience. So
Yeah,
you want to humanize the experience, but technologically enhance it.
exactly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you nailed it. Well
Yeah.
said. You said that better than me.
Oh, it was good. We're working together on this one here. Let's talk
So.
about that E word, okay? Yeah, how does empathy play a role in your work? I love to know how you roll that out.
Yeah, I think it's just fundamentally part of who I am, and I roll that into professional work that I do. Really, just understanding the person's situation, whether it's they're out of work or they're in between jobs, and really just getting that full story with that individual, as well as on the client side. Right, nobody has a straight path in life and career. There's always detours that we go through. And I think just keeping that empathy and that mindset with every individual has really been key to everything I do. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's,
It's really like I said before, it's really a key to life. I mean, it's when you operate from that position, people are nicer, people are more open, and
yeah,
nicer and more open. I think that's a good way to move forward, as
yeah,
opposed to mean and closed up.
yeah. I mean, everyone goes through something. And I think even more so the past few years, just with this pandemic and post-pandemic and challenges of every sort. I think just keeping being very mindful of that for every situation,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. Let's talk about some of these success stories. I know you have some. Let's talk about some folks who came in from the beginning and they're looking for something, and then what they wound up with. Let's talk about that, because I think that's always great for people to hear. Some practicalities.
yeah, in terms of the placement process, is that what
Yeah,
you're asking?
yeah.
So
We'll do
yeah,
both. We'll do both.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so right now, the business has evolved. I have a networking community, as you may or may not know, that can leverage to help connect job seekers, right, with employers, as well as we get direct searches through the EBC side of the business. So it is a matter of understanding where the gaps in the workflow are, how we can be a resource, and just leveraging our network that we've built up over the years to help make that match. So it's matchmaking, Rob, essentially matchmaking, identifying that need, speaking to employers, understanding what their business challenges are, and then pulling from our database that we've built up. So,
yeah, that's good. That's good. And I know in regards to employers, but what's some advice you can give to them and to those who are looking for talent? Let's talk, because a lot of times people don't know where to start, and they just start.
yeah,
If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there fast. So
yeah. So the market right now is still going through a correction from even pre-pandemic. The acceleration of AI being the buzzword, 2023, right? As you know, even though it's been around for years. So a lot of organizations trying to define those skills for that new role, more skills-based. So we do consulting to help define what those skills are, what they need for that new role, and really be clear on the scope of what that work would be. That always morphs and evolves, though, as you start the process, right, and start interviewing and meeting with candidates. And I find oftentimes employers don't know what they want to hire until they see it. They're like, ooh, boom, that's it. Right. So we go through our steps. We create a persona, define those skills. And then as we start the process, it changes, it modifies. And then they're like, boom, that's it. And then they know. So it's
yeah.
a sort of that is at a high level, though, Rob. There's more pieces that go into it, but kind of just a general high level. That's
good. That's a good high level. Good high level. You can go high, mid, and low levels, whatever you want to do. We're here. Yeah. Let's talk about the don'ts. What are some things you don't want to do? Don't. And let's go for employers. Then we'll do the don'ts for the candidates. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in right now, you're with Liz Capants here. She is a headhunter, and she leads with empathy, and she helps organizations get the candidates they need. She helps people who are looking for opportunity find those right opportunities, and she does it in a very phenomenal way. So now we're going to talk about what are some of the don'ts. Do not do these things if you are an organization getting ready to hire. Liz?
The don'ts. Okay. I was thinking about the do's, but let me pivot here to the don'ts. I would say be mindful of not wasting people's time, right? So there's a certain amount of information gathering that always happens on both sides, a job seeker and an employer. You're gathering information, you're learning about the person, their skills, their experience, who they are as a person, their character. But I would just say don't, or be mindful, I should say, of everyone's time, so we don't waste time. That's a big, that's a big no.
That's a good one.
I would say that's probably top of the list in terms of don'ts. Yeah.
And in regards to not wasting people's time, what was the thing that they could do again to make sure they don't actually do that?
So get clarity on the skills and the role. And even though that is changing and evolving, especially this last year, to get, really get that defined before starting to look at the job market, I would say. And then again, knowing that always might change depending on the candidates and the skills that are out there, but at least having that, having that clear.
Yeah. The clarity is super important. Super important. Okay. And then in regards to the don'ts for the candidates, but But besides sending in a blank resume, what's some other don'ts that you don't want to
Don't
do?
for a candidate, yeah. Don't. Another one for the employer: don't ghost. Ghosting on both sides, candidate or employer.
Yes.
Big no on both sides. Candidates, I would say not waste time also, because if you're going to put time into interview and spend the time, all the requirements that go into the process these days, be committed to seeing that through, even if you don't get the offer, to stick with it so you're not wasting time for the employer or for the headhunter or yourself.
Yeah.
Time is money. So
time is money. You can make more money, but you can't get back time. So
those would be, and then ghosting on both sides. Don't it's I've seen that so often. Unfortunately, it happens in every business, especially going through the hiring process. Sometimes people think, oh, it's easier if I just don't say anything, but just to have that respect and follow through. It's those small touch points that make such a difference, right? And on the employer side, that kind of ties back into their branding of who they are as a company, right? And what their process was, and that reflects on them. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Liz, if you had 1,000 business owners sitting down here, and you just came up and you only had 20 seconds, the mic is on, the mic is hot, and you got 20 seconds. You got 1,000 business owners here. What would you say to them if you came onto the stage and grabbed that microphone? If you had 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay. Be clear about the role that you're looking for, and be mindful and respectful of a candidate's time, and have the follow up. I think those are the main key things that I see as a challenge today in hiring. One of my projects, Rob, is to come up with a process. We're about to actually launch in about 2 weeks. Doing really incorporating white glove service into the hiring process and each step of the interviews that companies go through. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah.
Are you able to elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. Yes. I am partnering with a UK business called Livewire. Audra Lamoon is CEO of that firm, and we've been planning this for quite some time, and we're finally, I think in the next week or two, we'll be able to launch. But we're really bringing that customer service touch points to each stage of that recruitment process, right? So building in empathy, being clear on the direction that we're going, and just having that follow up. So we are excited to get this off the ground.
That is good. Yeah, I'm excited for you. That's so necessary.
Thank you.
Anybody listening to this, or you're watching this, as a matter of fact, if you have any questions, drop them here. We're on Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now live. If you're listening to the podcast, you can connect with Liz down in the comments or in the description. I'll have links to what she's doing, where she's at, and how you can reach her. And again, if you have questions now, there's no dumb question. Only dumb question is the one that you didn't ask that you should have asked. So ask it, okay? So you can get that answer. Liz, let's talk about the future of talent acquisition. What do you see? Any trends coming up here? What do you think about?
Oh my goodness, I think it's going through a change. I know it has to change. AI, of course, has contributed to that, and will continue in the next 5 to 10 years. We're seeing the market become more trending towards this gig economy, which is projected to continue to grow. I read a stat recently, Rob, that by, I think it was 2027, 56% of the workforce would be independent gig workers. So that trend will only continue. I think the whole work life, balance, Gen Z coming into the workplace are looking for more of that work life balance, and not always wanting to work 80 hours a week, or so. I mean, some are. So you have differing opinions, but it's going through a transition, and I think a much needed one. I think there needs to be change in how talent acquisition is conducted, and there needs to be, I think, also governance in terms of what can and can't be done, because I think that's one of the reasons it could be kind of like the Wild West, because there isn't anything that really governs what companies do and what candidates do. So I think that's one of the it's on my to-do list. I'm gonna work on that.
It's good. That is good. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you asked earlier. You was like, when I asked you, what would you automate in your personal life? You said, this is business or personal? So that was personal, but this one is business, Liz. So if you could automate one thing currently, what you're doing, anything, blink of an eye, click of the heels, wiggle of the nose, you could just automate it. What would that thing be?
That would be a lot of the scheduling of interviews, of getting background checks, getting references, just a lot of the scheduling. I have an assistant, I have a team that helps with that now, but if that could be automated even further, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. And how much scheduling do you do? How much would you say? Is it?
How much do I do?
Yeah, how much scheduling actually goes on? Is it the volume?
It's hard to quantify because it fluctuates, but it could be anywhere at any time. Say 7 or 8 candidates for 3 or 4 jobs. So when you kind of do the math there,
I see.
You can just coordinating calendars and times and sort of working through all that. That would be amazing if that was all automated.
That's good.
Wave a magic wand. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to a high and to a low right now. I'm going to go your worst experience in this and your best experience.
Worst experience in talent acquisition and in recruitment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Worst experience. Try to think. I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of crazy situations.
You know what? And you could name if something you saw was so crazy, you could talk about one of those if you want to.
In terms of a great experience.
Either one. Either one you want to pick from. Yep.
Yeah. I think in terms of great experience, a couple of years ago, talking about the follow-up and the process, Rob, this organization that they would, if they didn't extend an offer to a candidate, they would send not only a thank you note or email, they would send a swag gift. Thank you for interviewing. It was like a company mug or a pen or something. And I've never seen that before, but I was so wowed by that. I was like, this is so great. This service, even if you didn't get the job offer, the way that follow up and just having closure. I think that's one of the best.
That's good.
And I never see that. I've never seen it again. That was the one time I saw.
I'm going to say that's a unicorn right there, Liz. That's a unicorn there. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But keep in mind, this whole process, recruitment, is it's your marketing. It's marketing of your company, how you work with individuals, candidates, the follow-up. It's all ties back into your brand and your company marketing and what people are saying about you, because everyone these days will immediately go onto Glassdoor and do all the research before they even want to consider an organization or even applying. My phone is blowing up here. So
mine too. So don't worry. I keep
sorry about that.
You can't see my finger. So, I keep touching it. Turn it
so I would say when companies thinking about bringing people in, it's all tied into marketing, right? It's all each touch point that you have with that person makes such a difference and such an impression, right? It's like when you go to a hotel or travel or whatever, every interaction has, really can affect your experience, and it ties back into that brand. I'm going to go back to this place. I had the best experience. Maybe they didn't hire me at the time, but what a great team, right? So trying to get that mindset.
That's good. That's good. Somebody, Jan asked, how long have you been in business?
What's that? Sorry.
How long have you been in business? And have
almost 17 years.
17 years. And the second question was, have you seen an incline? Or
Incline in jobs or
that's what I'm thinking. I guess in the
yeah.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, I'll say like the market is still wacky. We were looking at the jobs report for May, which will come out tomorrow by 8:30. They did predict numbers for May to be lower in terms of jobs added. So it's been steady. My 2 cents. Unemployment is still historically low. It's at 3.9%.
Hmm.
We're still going through a correction though from pre-COVID.
The great resignation.
The Great Resignation is over. It's now an employer-driven market more so, and
Good.
it's but there are pockets of many industries that are hiring. They can't find enough people. So I always say to job seekers, look at what the market is demanding, right, and find those adjacent skills that you can learn or tap into so you can go for those roles. And that might be cybersecurity, data analytics, engineering. These are in hot demand. So it's great to have your experience, but if the market isn't asking for that and skills are changing, you have to kind of look and see, supply and demand. What is the market looking for? What new skills? And there's tons of free resources, online. I had shared a post about a week ago, Rob, with all these online free certifications courses that you can just add to your resume and go for these jobs because there's many of them. So
yeah, that's good resources. Liz, great resource there. Okay, so let's give us your best piece of business advice and your favorite quote.
Oh my gosh, favorite quote. Okay, business advice. I would say just integrity and consistency and hard work is always key in business, regardless of what you're doing. Favorite quote. It's a tough one. There's so many. I cannot think of one that is coming to mind. I'm going to have to do a quick Google search here, Rob, to see what I know many. It's like
I know. It's on the spot.
I know. It's probably a Winston Churchill one because I'm a big Winston Churchill fan.
Me
So
too.
I like many of his quotes, but I'm drawing a bit of a blank. But in terms of business, hard work, integrity, consistency, and resilience. Of course, always having that resilience and just to deal with the setbacks that everyone has, not just job seekers or people looking to hire. It's and not always easy to do at all. I get that, but it's
I'll give you my quote. Mine is and I made this up actually. The future is what you do today. So do something today that will impact your tomorrow. I've been saying that for like 15 years. Now, come to find out, I thought I made the whole thing up, but I didn't. Come to find out, Kung Fu Panda made the first part up. Okay.
I love that. I love that quote. I love that. Here's one. I'll Churchill again. I love the Churchill quotes. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give.
Come on.
And I think that resonates with me because, the empathy and just always kind of paying it forward and having an impact on someone is so rewarding to me and always has been. So I would say
me freaking too. I love it. I love it. That's good, Liz. How can people get in contact with you? What's the best way to reach you? And anything else you want to share?
Yep. My email, it's on my LinkedIn profile email. I have a contact form on the website, LinkedIn. Also, I get messages. I'm maxed out, but I can get messages or in-mails, I guess they're called. So it's so great to be here at this opportunity, Rob. So appreciate the time, and we will hopefully connect further.
We will connect further. I will put your information all in the description. You guys reach out to Liz. Organizations, if you are hiring, you need to reach out to this young lady. And if you are looking for jobs, reach out to Liz because she has the blueprint. And it's a lot of noise out here, folks, a lot of noise. And in order to do things right, you got to find people who are doing them right and then follow the path. I think it was Jim Rome that said success leaves clues. That was Jim Rome. Success leaves clues. So I added one on to the end of that. And success leaves clues. So follow the trail. That's it. Follow it. And you can follow Liz on LinkedIn. You'll find her link on the description here. Or if you're listening to the podcast, drop down the description and you can find her there. Liz, thank you so much for doing what you do and being on the Automation Nation show.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rob. Great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, you got it. You got it. And ladies and gentlemen, listen, remember, you don't know what you don't know. So get around people who know more than you.
Automation, Automation Nation, Automation, Automation Nation, Automation, Automation Nation, around the nation. Automation, Automation Nation, Automation, Automation Nation.